Hey, 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 friends, Juanita Waterman here. And I have a story I have to share because it's a story that a lot of us sometimes forget. Um, Now, 6 months ago, I wasn't the person I am today. And a year from now, I won't be the person I am today either. I'll be more improved because that's the direction I'm going in. But I do have a story to tell you about what took place this weekend. I had my grandsons over. They're 12 and 11, and my daughter. And, they get tired of going places. They just want to stay home and veg out and play computer games all day and all night. And to me, that's okay for a little while, but I wanted them to have some culture. And the play Shrek, the musical Shrek, was playing. And once upon a time, I would have said, when they said, no, we don't want to go anywhere, I would have said, okay. Or I would have forgot Shrek was playing and forget to take them. And because I had been working on myself to become the best grandma in the world, not a grain of sand grandma, but a mountain grandma, I didn't let them win. Because I knew deep inside they'd be better off for having seen that play. I didn't know why. I didn't know how come. Now, if you knew my grandkids, they've been going through a lot of crises lately. I mean, just one tragedy. It feels like one tragedy after another, and they've been hurt. And so I'd like to be easy on them a little bit, but this was important to me. So when they came to visit me, I said, I've done this for you. Now you guys are going to go to this play with me. I don't want to go by myself, and you're going to go. And they're like, oh, we don't want to go. We don't want to go. I said, no, you're going. I already bought the tickets. So, like good little grandkids, they get in the car and they end up going with me because I knew I wasn't going to take no for an answer, and they kind of figured that out too because of my posture. So we get there and we start watching the musical Shrek. And they're laughing and giggling and smiling. They loved it. They loved it. But I learned another lesson during Shrek. Now, I've heard this lesson before, but I didn't always understand because I still want to take the easy way. I want to believe that there's no problems on the planet, that there's somebody out there has the perfect life and they've never had tragedy and they've never had sadness. And that would be great. But guess what? When I was listening to Shrek, the very beginning, it talks about at 7 years old, Shrek gets thrown out of the home on his own. 7 years old, Fiona gets put in the castle. I know this is a story, but there's some truth in every story. And they have to live the rest of their life in this isolated or alone. And I thought of my grandkids who have went through something similar like this, only even at an earlier age. And it helped me to see, and them to see, I hope. I know that I had a similar childhood full of tragedy. And it helped us to see life is full of tragedy. You either have it as a child or you have it as an adult, but tragedy is going to happen. Death's going to happen. Unforeseen circumstances are going to happen. You're going to have tragedy. But what an artist does with tragedy, I'm biting my tongue, what an artist does with tragedy, or a imaginative person does with tragedy, is they create something with it. They create a story, a once upon a time. And a once upon a time has to start, usually with a tragedy. The middle part's how they, the climax, and then how they overcame the tragedy. And really, if we look at our life like that, instead of just being entertained by stories, but actually view our life as a story, maybe it didn't have a good beginning. Or maybe it did have a good beginning and then it had a tragedy. But now that tragedy's there, Brody, no, to teach us a lesson. That's my dog, Brody. Come here. Want to say hi to everybody? Come here. It's there to teach us a lesson. Whether it's man is not designed to come up with the rules and God's kingdom is the only answer for mankind's problems. Or the lesson could just simply be you gotta love yourself. Or the lesson can be you gotta trust. Or the lesson can be you gotta use your imagination. Or the lesson can be, you know, drugs aren't good. I don't know what the lesson's going to be. But every tragedy is an opportunity in disguise. An opportunity to learn a lesson. And if you don't learn that lesson, you're going to get it over and over and over again. Usually until you learn it, because you're attracting it into your life. Especially if you're on a path of self-development. You'll probably be able to fix it sooner, though, too. Okay, that's all I wanted to say. So, do something that's going to enrich your life, enrich people around you, and don't put a good-for-nothing thing before your eyes. If it's not going to make things better, I mean, this is what I want to tell you as an example of that. Maybe I should make another video. I'll make another video on that. Okay, peace out. See ya.